God says, "It is finished." The battle you've been fighting in silence, the weight you've been carrying for too long, the delay, the confusion, the spiritual warfare, it's over. Heaven has ruled in your favor. The verdict is in. Grace wins. You don't have to plead anymore. You don't have to prove anything. You don't have to look over your shoulder wondering when the breakthrough will come, because God says, now. Not tomorrow, not next year. Now the struggle was preparation. The delay was divine training. But the breakthrough? That's your inheritance. That's your reward. That's your proof that God finishes what He starts. Now something bigger is coming your way. Something that eyes haven't seen. Something your past couldn't block. Something so filled with favor that even you will ask, God, is this really for me? Yes, it is, because you stayed faithful. You didn't quit. You praised while it hurt. You kept showing up when it made no sense. And now God is about to do what only He can do. Exceed your expectations. Restore what was lost. Elevate you beyond what you imagined. So take a deep breath. Release the fear. Let go of the how and when. The case is closed. It is finished.
He can and will deliver you when you call upon Him. He will take away your tears and give you reasons to laugh again. When Rachel was barren for some time, she cried to her husband and worried herself concerning it. The husband, Jacob, knowing fully well that he cannot help her because he's not the giver of children, asked her a critical question. Am I God? In other words, he was just telling her to surrender her problem to God. It was obvious he loved her, but could not help her. No man can help you do what only God can do, no matter how much they love and care about you. It takes humility and faith in God to be able to surrender your all to Him, including your problems. Therefore, don't let pride deprive you of such a blessing, because it is a blessing indeed to surrender your problem to God. The Bible says that we should trust in the Lord, and He will bring the desires of our hearts to pass. Stop depending on your powers or ability. Don't depend on man or put your trust in any other thing. Some have trust in horses and some in chariots, but they all failed. Just bring these problems to God and let Him solve them for you. At the wedding of Cana, where Jesus performed His first miracle, the problem they had would not have been resolved if Mary, the mother of Jesus Christ, did not have faith in her Son. Even though she was the one who gave birth to Him, she understood that He was not just a mere man, and that the power of God resided in Him. Hence, when the wine ran out, even though the party was not over, she took the best route to solve that particular problem by going to Jesus, and she told the servants to do whatever He told them. The result was that the latter wine that was gotten, miraculously, was much better than even the first that was served. Your life could as well become better. Your situation could improve drastically. That particular need can be easily met if you only let God take over that situation. Not going to God in the first place indicates pride. It means you believe in your strength and ability to see you through that problem. And what does the Bible say about the proud? It says, God resists the proud, but gives grace to the humble. Forget your pride and ego and go before God in prayers. Let Him ease your mind and your troubles. Let Him bring rest to your soul again. Jesus performed so many miracles in the Scriptures and is still in the business of providing solutions. The people brought their problems to Him, and whatever their cause may be, there was always a solution for them. Whether the problems are spiritual, like demonic possession, or tormentors, or physical in the body, like blindness, leprosy, or even psychological, like depression and frustration, there was just a solution to all. The woman with the issue of blood for 12 years didn't listen to the discouraging words and advice from others. She took a bold step of faith and surrendered her issue to Jesus. By touching the hem of his garment, she got her healing. Don't die inside because of what people have said or will say. Take that bold step of faith too and surrender your problems to God. 2 Kings chapter 18 and 19 tells the story of Sennacherib, the king of Assyria, who boasted against the Lord to King Hezekiah of Judah. He sent messages and letters to King Hezekiah and the whole of Judah to surrender to him, or else he would wage war against them, and he was sure to conquer them. There was terror in the whole land, and even King Hezekiah was not exempted. But instead of allowing the fear to make him surrender to King Sennacherib, he rather surrendered to God, and God assured him victory through the mouth of prophet Isaiah. 2 Kings 19 verse 14 says, Hezekiah took the letter from the messengers and read it. Then Hezekiah went up to the Lord's temple and spread it out before the Lord. Hezekiah knew that his tactics would fail him, so he didn't collect the letter and start mobilizing men for training and all. Rather, he collected it and surrendered it to the Lord. Spreading the letter to the Lord is an act of surrendering to him. In the end, King Hezekiah and his men need not go to war, because the angel of the Lord went out and fought for them, killing the Assyrian soldiers in their camp. This is what happens when you're faced with problems in terms of the threat of war and fight, and you surrender it to God. He will take it up and fight your battles for you, and you will hold your peace. King David was someone that was always faced with one problem or the other. King Saul was after his life on several occasions, and even his son Absalom was also after his life too. But on all of these occasions, King David ran to God to surrender his problem. His son would have succeeded in killing him if not for a simple prayer that he said in 2 Samuel 15 verse 31. Quote, Now David has been told, Ahithophel has sided with the conspirators who are with Absalom. So David prayed, Make the advice of Ahithophel foolish, O Lord. This simple prayer is an act of surrender to God. Otherwise, Absalom would have succeeded in killing him, because the counsel of Ahithophel had never failed before. To surrender is not something ambiguous. It's simply to give up on the power, control, or possession of another, and in this case, to God.